Hello everybody, if you guys are at this video, you probably want to know like what perm rod size should I use for my client, or should my stylist be using, right? I don't have every single one here with me today only because I am at the house, but these are actually the most common ones that I do use in the salon, so I think this is really honestly perfect for the video. So first things first, the way that perm rods work, whatever size that you choose, and just whatever shape that you want to put your hair in, just in general, like say for instance you were to put your hair in a braid, your hair would still take like as like a crimpy sort of like, I guess, like form, if that makes sense. Whatever you choose to wrap your hair around, that's the shape that it's going to take. So for instance, if you wanted it to be like a really tiny curl, you would use a really tiny one like this, and the curl is going to take that shape right there, and it's going to be a little bit tinier. So the rod sizes are kind of dependent. It takes exactly what shape, whatever you want to put it on. However, there are like a couple rules that you probably can keep in mind too when you're choosing rod sizes. In general, orange is going to be like body wave, like wavy sort of hair. You can make it a little bit more curly if you choose to do a spiral perm as opposed to a standard roll perm, because the standard roll perm tends to have a little bit more of a water wave, as opposed to the spiral perm. It's definitely going to be more of like a tight, like kind of coily curl. But however, these are going to be really big curls, basically waves. This one right here is also going to be a little bit wavy subjectively. Everyone has like different versions of what they call wavy hair, but this one's definitely going to be a really loose curl, just in general. The white one is going to be a little bit of a tighter curl. This is like probably, the pink and white are probably my most requested like sizes, just because most people when they are asking for perm, they definitely want a little bit more curly, but they don't want it to be like so super curly, if that makes sense. These are actually going to be my most two common, actually these three, honestly, because wavy hair is really in right now too. These are my most common like sizes right here. The gray is definitely going to be more of a tighter curl for sure. Like if you want a curl, like for sure, the gray is it. Like if you don't want any questions at all of whether or not you're going to get a curl, I would say white and gray is right where you're going to start at. And then as far as pink goes, between gray and pink, there's actually not too much of a difference. They look almost practically the same in the hair, because if you see, they're only about 1/8 of an inch of a difference, maybe like a 1/16 of an inch of a difference. These right here are also going to be like super tight curls. They also have a blue rod size, which is smaller, a yellow rod size, which is even smaller, and a red size, which is even smaller. Those ones are going to be more if you want more of a tight, like afro sort of, like kinky, coily sort of curl. I wouldn't suggest using the blue through yellow side or blue through red sizes though, unless you have like shorter hair, at least maybe like around your chin and up, because after that it won't take nicely, because the perm rod is just way too small. Another thing to keep in mind is if you have finer hair, sometimes you're going to want to size up, because finer hair does take really strong, and exactly like how the perm rod size will be. Sometimes it'll take really strong if it's super fine, and sometimes if they don't want it super curly, you just might want to size up just a little bit. If it is super straight, like that sort of thick, maybe like Asian Hispanic type of hair, like obviously not everyone has the same hair type, but a lot of times really like straight hair, a lot of times you're going to want to size down, because that you got to take in consideration that their hair is really long and it'll kind of pull the curl down, and also that it doesn't take as strong, just because I don't know, they have really straight hair, so it takes a little bit harder to, like, I guess, form. So those are pretty much my like basic overview of like the sizes. This is just like a really quick, I guess, kind of overview. If you have any like more in-depth questions, you can always feel free to ask me, but this is just kind of a little guide, just so that anyone that does kind of want to know about the perm rod sizes, like a little quick reference point, that'll kind of tell you what you need to know. All right, cool.